Hey, what's going on, y'all? So in under 10 minutes, I'm going to quickly be showing you guys exactly how you can today fix your no-show rate and be able to close more clients just by having more bodies actually show up to these sales calls that you're booking. Now, the reality of why we're in this unfortunate situation of people constantly having a shit show-up rate really boils down to the fact that we are in a trust recession right now. So I want to just quickly show you that even guys like this, Brian Mark, Alex Hermosi, Cole Gordon, and Mongadzi are still struggling with show-up rate themselves. Hell, if anything, because they have such a broad net of leads that could actually apply to either their course or one of their consulting services, show up rate is such a hard issue with cold traffic because we are currently going through what's called a trust recession, which is basically meaning there's so much more providers out there for every little thing. People are constantly guaranteeing new bullshit. And another unfortunate thing is that there's so many new kids coming out nowadays who bought someone else's course and they're essentially rinse and repeat trying to start a new business model. You see kids all the time trying to start dropshipping, trying to start SMMA, trying to start becoming an appointment setter or a closer. There's so many new online fields, shiny ways to make money. And so what's ending up happening right now is in order for legitimate businesses like mine to stand out, I have to offer a crazy guarantee. So I'm currently offering a 30 sales call guarantee within the next 45 days of working with me and my team. And I had to, really put this mouth-watering offer out there just to get a shoe in the door, to get these people on call where I can really give them a pitch of my service delivery and they can see what we got going on and that it's not a bunch of bullshit, but it's actual steps and automations that get them there. Now, what I just said and the struggle I just explained is essentially happening to every business owner right now that is trying to sell online, including big dogs like this. And this is just a few examples I pulled up because these are some business owners that I kind of look up to as far as what they've been able to do with the online marketplace. But what we're seeing here, like this statistic is showing people's skepticism with AI alone. Now, if you incorporate all the different scam artists out there, all the course sellers, all the people selling snake oil. If you don't know what snake oil is, it's when you sell a whole bunch of bullshit and explain you do all these magical things. Doctors used to go town to town and sell snake oil in the Wild West age. Anyways, snake oil, horrible, right? So because of this issue, we don't have any control over someone else's trust in ourselves. And especially when you consider that a lot of the market is currently washed with, kid after kid trying to promise the same thing. What you have to do is kind of reel things back in for a second and think of, okay, well, with my business, what are some tangible steps I can do today to help show up rate and to help build trust off the bat? Because that's the biggest issue. And there's not enough trust, and there's also just not enough accountability typically for people to want to hop on the sales call. No touch points being made, things like that, right? So what I want to show you guys are 3 measures and simple fixes that you can put in place into your sales process today, and I guarantee you will have an increase in your show up rate and thus an increase in ability to actually land deals. So the first one, it seems obvious, but you'd be surprised the amount of business owners I've hopped on calls with and they do not have a simple appointment confirmation sequence set up. As soon as a lead books through one of your calendars, the first thing you need to do is send them an SMS and email confirmation. And it's also important to where if you have any pre-call information that you send that in this automation flow as well, so that they're a little more warmed and understand, what they're getting themselves into, what they need to have prepared for the call. Let's say, hey, have a pen and paper next to you. Make sure you're seated at your desk. Make sure you're in a quiet place so you can really focus on what we're going over. Things like that, right? And then on top of that, send out reminders. 24-hour SMS and email reminder, easy money. And then I also like to recommend doing a 2 to 1 hour out from the call itself. You can even redrop the booking link just to make sure. Because every once in a while, someone's like, oh, where's the booking link? So it's just like, yo, right there, here it is again. Our call's in 2 hours. I'll see you then. And then another thing to note, just on the calendar itself, you have to be booking it out only a few days in advance. If you have your calendar set up to where people can book in a month from now, I guarantee you, anyone that books in a month from now is going to forget about you if they're coming from ads or coming from cold traffic. Unless it's a really warm lead and you've had prior communication with them, the likelihood of someone booking in for a meeting a month from now, you never talking to them, no messages ever getting sent, and then they still show up is close to zero. So what I often recommend, my calendar only goes out a few days in advance. So someone wants to book in a call with me, it's cool, book in tomorrow or Friday. It's Wednesday right now. So book in tomorrow, Friday, or I'll see you on Monday, right? That's as far as they can go out. You have to do something as simple as soon as a lead clicks on your calendar and they can only book in a few days in advance. You're still fresh on their mind and it's just an increased likelihood of you having a call with them, and also prevents that same lead from getting poached from a competitor because you had a bit more speed to lead with the interaction with the sales call. The next is going to be an AI automated call confirm. You can technically not use AI to do this, and it would just be a hard-coded thing that it's going to scan for a message, and then, based on that, either yes or no, right? If you're reply back yes, and then you set up a go high level automation to be if yes, then do this. But I'll usually use AI for this just so we can take it a step further in case they have any questions. But, to take a step back, even before the automated call automation, what I'll typically do for my clients with AI, we'll set up a post-booking AI sales agent, as I call it, and it essentially just continues to act as a point of contact for the business owner. Every once in a while, probably 1 in 10 leads is going to have a question or ask something over the messaging channel. In this case, like usually SMS or email, prior to the call. So the AI will handle any frequently asked questions, objection handle anything, also act as a point of contact to shoot off those pre-call videos and education videos like, hey, thanks for booking in, go watch this video, it'll give you a better understanding of the brand and it'll make for a more productive sales call, you know, things like that. What I recommend for a solid structure for an automated call confirm sequence, so send over the call information and then shortly after be like, hey, we have a lot of calls, and you know, to make sure we satisfy our enter guarantee here, you know, in my case, in order to make sure we satisfy our 30 sales call guarantee in the next 45 days, we only took on a couple clients, so we really need you to confirm this call. Otherwise, we're going to have to cancel your appointment and keep that spot available for someone else who's actually looking to get 30 sales calls in 45 days. This builds scarcity, and then they're not going to be like, oh shit, you know, I don't want someone else to take my spot. I want this guarantee, right? So they're just psychologically going to be more likely to want to pull the trigger and, you know, confirm and actually show up. But then, you know, the AI asking them to confirm and then replying back with like yes or confirm or whatever, you know, the trigger is going to be in order to confirm the call. There's now a point of accountability. Now, to take it a step further, I always have my AIs come off as if it's a human so that, you know, the person now has accountability thinking that they said yes or they confirmed with a person on the other end of the phone. In reality, it's an automation, but now they're like, damn, you know, I did promise that guy I'm gonna show up to this call. Now, what I'm explaining, although it may only move the needle a few percent, that's a few percent that could have been out the door otherwise, so might as well do it. As marketers, we have to leverage every percentile we can for success. Now, the last part, the AI nurture machine. So really what this is showing here, even before the actual booking takes place, you know, having points of contact. So when a lead comes in our pipeline, we'll typically have an SMS AI appointment sitter conversing with the lead, beginning to warm them, you know, get them educated on our offer, make sure they're qualified. But then we also have a heavy hitting email newsletter. I say heavy hitting because this is going to be huge for brand awareness and to keep your name in their mind. Now, after they book in, what I typically recommend is to keep this email newsletter dripping, or you can even, based on the appointment booking, transition them to a little bit more of a warm nurture sequence. So instead of book a call CTAs, since they already booked a call, just brand awareness emails that get sent, and then keep the SMS stream clean for just your appointment booking scenarios. And if you compile all that together, it's going to make for a really, really nice closed loop system. Now, just to quickly review these three things. First off, confirmation sequences. So when a new lead books in, send them a 24-hour reminder, 2-hour reminder, and then off the bat, send them an email confirmation and make sure they confirm it so it's on their calendar. On top of that, have a post-booking AI setup in there so that you're actually taking a step further by sending over pre-call information where it seems like it's a human that's distributing that. And on top of that, prompting the AI to ask the lead to confirm their call and kind of show some scarcity. It's like, oh, like if you don't confirm this, we're going to give your spot to someone else that wants this guarantee. And then lastly, just using a simple email newsletter drip to help just continue to educate and nurture leads is going to be huge, especially if you have like a YouTube, social media, or even just a website, something that really shows and is able to explain more detail of your business model to the lead so they come more educated. And then as far as pre-booking, you can do an AI appointment setter or even human appointment setter for that matter. I do AI, so that's why I'm talking on AI appointment setters here. But yeah, guys, nonetheless, if you do this, I guarantee you will increase your show up rate and thus increase your ability to close more revenue. Again, we're going through such an issue with trust right now, so little things like this are becoming non-negotiables in the business. If you're not doing this, you are behind. Anyways, hope that makes sense to everyone. If you have any questions, I'm leaving my Instagram link down below. Feel free to ask me any questions if you guys have any. And on that note, I'll see you on the next video.